Susan from the Learning Hub. Let's talk about how to take fear out of the equation when you're learning math. Whenever you try to solve a math problem, do you get butterflies in your stomach or find it hard to breathe? Does the thought of figuring out a tip in a restaurant or adding up the cost of a few grocery store items make you panic? Math anxiety is a common problem both in school and in everyday life. In fact, the majority of people have had some level of fear around math at some point in their lives. The first thing to think about is how you feel about math. If you've hated math for as long as you can remember, ask yourself why. Maybe you bought into some math myths. You've likely heard that not everyone is born capable of doing math, that math is just too hard for many people, or that women just aren't good at it. Or maybe you've heard that only logical people can do math. Creative people can't do it and don't need it at all. If you believe any of these myths, you are sabotaging yourself when you set out to learn some math. The truth is that there is no math gene, and the ability to do math is not found in an X or a Y chromosome. Math is a skill like learning a musical instrument or cooking a meal. Given the time and practice, anyone can learn it. You don't have to be a genius to learn the fundamental skills of mathematics. And once you lay a solid foundation, you can continue to build the blocks that lead to a better understanding of more difficult math problems. And math is a tool to help with some very creative projects. For example, once you learn how to count money, you can go on to figure out the best ways to stretch your budget or buy or save for whatever your family needs. When you learn how to multiply and divide, you can go on to adapt a recipe to feed a large family gathering or a smaller meal just for you. When you learn geometry, you can figure how much paint you need to redecorate your house or how much wood you need to build a deck. If you got nervous just thinking about any of those tasks, the first thing to do is talk about it. Acknowledge that math makes you anxious, but decide that you're going to be more positive when you think about doing math. Researchers found that students who write down their fears about math before they write a test end up with higher scores. Before you sit down to do some math, try to let go of your anxiety with some physical activity. Go for a walk. Do a few push-ups or jumping jacks. Squeeze your hands into tight fists and watch the stress release as you ease the tension in your hands. Strike a power pose with your hands on your hips or your arms overhead. Making yourself big decreases the stress hormones in your body and helps you feel more capable. Close your eyes for a moment and take a few long, deep breaths. Watch the tension leave your body with every exhalation. Find a confident teacher who doesn't have any math anxiety of her own. Fear can be contagious, but so can confidence. You want a teacher who is positive about math and lets you know you can excel at it. Make math part of your daily routine. The more you practice, the easier math will get. But make sure you start small, do the easiest problems first, and build in difficulty as your confidence grows. If you want a chance to work on your math every day online, sign up for the Learning Hub at www.learninghub.ca.